Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I will be playing a game that I have played more than once, absolutely obsessed with it. It's called What Remains of Edith Finch. The game is actually set in Washington State, where I currently live, so I thought it was an appropriate game to play today. And I promise to actually finish uploading the full game, unlike Until Dawn, which I don't have a PS4 anymore, so we're on pause for that one. For those that don't know, Edith Finch is a story-based game that follows the family of the Finches. Now, the Finch family has had a lot of misfortune in their life. Our character that we play as is Edith, and she is exploring her family home in an effort to try and find out what happened to her family, because Edith is actually the last Finch left. This is an absolutely amazing game. It can be heavy. There are some triggers in this game. I will put warnings for them down below, so please just be mindful when watching. Okay, I won't babble on too much longer. Let's go ahead and get into the game. It's starting. We're on a ferry, very Washington. Yep. I can only look around. I will admit, it's been a couple of years since I played this game in full, so I don't remember absolutely everything. We got a broken wrist. What's going on?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
This house is stunning. Like, absolutely amazing.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
I'd kill to live here.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Can't be that urgent if they're from 7 years ago.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I don't know that I've taken this path before. Normally I go towards the right, up the clearly marked path. So, let's see what happens.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Ooh, I have goosebumps. Oh, I love this game so much.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
I think what I like about this house so much is that you can tell that pieces have
As
been
a
added
child,
on.
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
You can just see all the pieces parts.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Missing posters everywhere.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
Yeah. What? Yeah, there's no way for us to get in there right now. That's a ramp for a wheelchair.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
She messy. Okay, so I think we had to try the front door before it would give us the option to try it on the side door. Let's give her a shot. I love all of the plants here because these look like actual native Washington plants, especially these like flowers right here. Those grow in my yard. We're climbing through the doggy door.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
Shit went down.
For the first time in years,
2010.
I felt like I was home.
Ugh, look at all the wine bottles everywhere.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Chinese, yes.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
It's gotta smell terrible by now.
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Oh, God. Not the cannery. That I remember. Good.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Oh, wow. Yeah, some shit did go down.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
There's a lot of shit in this house, I do have to say.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
That's right. There's a picture of the original house. Dawn Finch. Oh, look at that view, though.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Yeah.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
For Barbara. Oh, look, there she is, Barbara Finch. Not sure what's happening in that picture. Oh, that's like a director's chair with her name on it. And those are lights. And then a lot of bugs. Oh, that's been like sealed. It's kind of cool though. All of the books like all over the archway. I kind of dig that.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Whoa. It's all roped off on one side. Oh, that's messed up. Imagine living in that room that's like a shrine for somebody who's not around anymore. Pretty door, though.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of. The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Interesting that this door has 2 names on it, but not the door that's obviously split between 2 people. There's Barbara.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
There's that same picture. Ward.
Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
I was locked up tight. Here's Barbara's room. Who's that?
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Odin. Intense name.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Sounds like America. God, look at her room. It's like a Hollywood. Oh, I would go crazy. Let's see. How old was Barbara? Wow. 16. God damn. It's a cute door.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Dark. It's a really pretty room, though. I like that one. I Again with all the bugs everywhere. Oh.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Very themed.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
That is so cool. The book and the hiding the... I have no reason to do this in my home.
To find out what my mom had been afraid of.
But I want to. Stained glass.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
It's a good painting. Well, the start of one, anyway.
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Amelia's room.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh, all the stuff up on the wall. Oh, pardon me, Molly's room, not Emily.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
It's cute.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Stepped inside of a painting, more like.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Oh no. Oh god, I remember this. Oh, I hate this. Okay.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
With the droppings in there.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Oh. Think we can, yeah. Oh no.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Like berries off a holly bush. No.
I kept eating and eating.
That's gotta taste bad.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Paint on the window.
And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
I love the,
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
oh god. Yeah, this isn't gonna go well. They're just flopping around in the woods as a shark? Can't put him in the water? This isn't gonna go well. Oh, here we go. No, that's the road.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Chomp.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh, ew. What is that? A tentacle?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
I love that this little girl's just like eating everything in her path. That she's a fucking monster killing people at this point. That's sick.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
We got some drunken sailors in here. Yeah, they get eaten. Right. Now the Capitan. Ah, fuck me. Monster is not easy to control.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Oh, and up. The good smell is a bathroom? I don't think so.
I got closer and closer.
Uh-oh. We're in Molly's room.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
So I think that's meant to be like the story of her death. And I'm not 100% sure what it's meant to mean. Because for a while I thought it meant that, because with her like eating all of that random stuff in the beginning, that she died from like poisoning or something like that. Which might be the case, but then the monster there at the end kind of threw me.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
It's kind of creepy.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
Not how that works.
So, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
The birds. Oh my god, so a picture of a bird in a bird cage. That's cute. Oh, these are pets. These are... Oh, I see. I'm leaving that area now. Oh no!
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Edie was the painter. Edie and I would have gotten along for sure.
Her room was like a museum.
Odin. So I think Odin was her... Odin was Edie's father.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Just put a house on a boat, okay, and take it with you. Didn't know that was a thing.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Ugh. Okay, then.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Orcas Island, actual place.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Is that a sculpture of him going down with the house? Okay. Okay.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Oh, so they built it. Wow.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
The birdies on the door for Sven and Edie. Stop. I'm gonna cry. And look, they wrote in the room 1937. Wait. Oh no, that's the year that Daddy Daddy-o died.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go.
A little
For a
forest
few
fire.
weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Bruh.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Why? It's so fun. I feel like that's some shit I would do as an old lady. Be like, yeah, there's totally a mole man living under my creepy old house.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
And it sure is pink.
It was a pretty big trace.
Yep. Wine bottles in the bathroom trash. Come on, baby. The frog. Oh, shit. And another sealed door. Ooh. There's a secret in this bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Goosebumps again. I love this. I love this house. I love this video game.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
There goes Milton. More bottles. I can see, I think maybe what happened to one of these, the members of the Finch family. Ugh. The room that's like half memorial. There's so much detail in this. Like, I feel like I could play this 100 times and probably still find something new each time. It's so detailed.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
1961, that calendar is.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Wonder where she learned that from. I was 11.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Not this. Not the swing.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At
Commitment.
Barbara's funeral, We swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Same, bro.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Shit.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
So yeah, all of the memorials are what happened to them. So
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
that one was obviously very clear. There was an accident on the swing, and the swing was right by the cliff. So, but yeah, Molly's is much more unclear.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
I wouldn't either. It's a fucking memorial to your kid brother who passed away. Can't believe they didn't change literally anything about it. That's actual insanity. I love that it's books.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
No, we still got some wine hiding in here.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Oh, all of the playbills. Whoa. It's a lot.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Oh. Her birthday? No. Again, all this food left out. It'd be nasty in there. It'd be nasty in that house. Here we go. Here's Barbara. And that's right, our lovely Barbara was 16 years old when she met her fate.
Just
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Sounds lovely.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
Okay.
Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
Oh,
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
this fucking director guy I don't
Because
like.
my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a
Oh,
key hidden
Sven
in the
who
music
did all that,
box.
huh?
The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe.
Cool.
I'll be back in a sec.
Don't know why that would have been in the comic, but
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him.
she did for 20
right
minutes?
on cue.
5 max.
She reached for the music box.
Oh, mine. Me. Cue for me.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh, what is that music?
She
should be able to
found
play that.
Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The literal, like, Halloween thriller music. Am I gonna get copywritten for this? Smack the shit out
The
of that.
gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
The hell? Oh dear! I would too, Girly Pop. I would too.
Rick?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
I'm pissed.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
Yeah, that director guy.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
Should have hobble home with one crutch.
Hours later,
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter might already be dead. cute skating outfit for sure.
Walter, are you there?
This room is so empty.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Uh-oh.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Smashing.
And there he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's gotta be another way out of here.
Over here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Alright, we gotta go get Walter then. Fine.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Oh, gotta go smack the shit out of him.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Ooh, he's messed up. We're going downstairs? Bad call. Could you move faster? Please? Of course he's not there.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
What is it, trick-or-treaters?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
I think Barbara's gone crazy.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come.
I would be so pissed.
Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her.
Ooh, dark.
Ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
No. Didn't like that. Didn't like the ending of that. Oh, and then there's an ear on the back. Messed up.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
She was finally remembered. Woo. Dark. Okay. Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god. No, literally, how do I get out? Okay, here we go.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
So there was an ear in there once upon a time. Okay, so to the music box we go, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would leave the house at some point. Like, you just... I feel like... So, it's obvious that her mom didn't tell her, like, what's going on with the family or anything like that. So, she doesn't know all of these stories. Although, that one right there, that would have been in the news. Like, old child star gets murdered in her family home on Halloween night. Yeah, that's... We didn't hear it about that one. This is what Dad was keeping us away from? The scary, unfinished basement? Where we do laundry?
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
How many tetanus shots is this chick getting?
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Oh.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
I thought there was no power in this place. Can't see nothing. This way.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
You kept him in the basement? You kept Walter in the basement.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as
The
he
basement was as far away as he could get. It's literally like a bunker. Like,
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
uh-oh, here we go. Oh, Walter, look how old he is. 2005. Oh my goodness. Oh, look, yeah, the calendar there. Cross some updates. Okay, all right. Oh, let's get into it. Let's see what happened to Walter. Let's see what horrific thing happened to Walter. This can opener. With cans.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Hey.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
I don't know that you're sane if you're living in a bunker.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
76.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Just eating pages.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
so Edie would carry boxes down to Walter.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
His old hands.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
No peaches today?
I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
She's so creepy.
I know it's out there somewhere.
Genuinely disturbing.
Whatever killed Barbara
Oh, is that why he's afraid? That's why he's been hiding?
and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially
Besides
the food.
peaches, yeah.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
That is so messed up.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Are you kidding me? He got hit by a train the one time he decides to leave the hole that he lives in.
I'm sure my mom was trying to
No,
protect
your mom
me.
had issues just like everybody else in her fucking family. Sorry to be the one to tell you this.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
That's why the mole thing, the Edie, and that's why it pissed off her mom, because there was somebody living under the house.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
I think Walter buried himself, but...
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2,
Nope.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Oh. That's so dark. Wait. There's no train here. So then, what happened? Okay. I think that's the thing.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Oh, she's writing down all the stories. I mean, I don't know. I think that's one of those things.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Curses only have power if you believe in them.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Oh, that's right. I think that's the old house out there. Yeah, I think that's the thing about these.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
I think the thing about this game and the stories is that it's never going to be super, super clear exactly what happened.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
I mean, the kind of family that has a dead family member.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Wives?
3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had
It's
been
a
my
lot
fault.
of dead pets, people. Pets shouldn't be dying that much around you folks. Like, that's a lot of dead animals. What are you doing to these animals? Why are they only living for a few years? I don't know how I feel about this.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Look at the star for Barbara. Walter, what's that? That's pretty. Edie. The books. Calvin in his space. God, messed up. Molly. I mean, it's a beautiful little cemetery. I mean, stunning headstones, but yeah.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Yeah, so that's Edie and Sven right there, I think, and then Odin. Going down with the house, yeah. Oh, and I think he's looking at it, yeah. See, that's it right there.
She could see it poking out of the water
Yeah.
at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
God, what a beautiful spot, though, for a house. Like, yes, all of the death is really sad, but it's a beautiful piece of property. Where's that bell coming from?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Everybody's so
She
young.
lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay. Oh, we haven't even gotten to Sanjay yet.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday.
And discover it all on your own.
Find everything out for myself.
So messed up. Just tell your kids what happened.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing,
Yeah, there's a lot of steps here, huh?
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Yep. She pregnant. Got the new Finch inside a hole. Also, climbing up a roof while you're pregnant, what are you doing? What are we doing here, honey?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Ah, red-blooded American. Got the Merc flag. Camo all up in this.
They were both pretty intense.
Words over the giant bear rug. Oh. All right, Grandpa Sam, let's see, let's hear it, let's go. Oh, look at the ring.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
You're just taking a picture of the car.
Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
Oh, there we go.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take
Oh,
some pictures,
National
okay?
Park.
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Oh, what I'm meant to be taking pictures of? Just them there trees or what? Give me something fun. Oh, is this bird? This is this bird that I'm meant to be taking a picture of. I knew that the whole time.
Aw.
I knew that.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
TMI, Dad. TMI. Okay, but I might just take a picture of. I'm tired of taking pictures. I don't want to take any more pictures. What am I meant to be taking a picture of?
Nothing
There
quite
we go.
like being
That's it.
outside. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
I'm over here, Dad. Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
I don't want to see this.
Great shot,
I didn't
Don.
like that. Ah! I didn't want to see that. Yeah. That would be me.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
She's literally crying. Yeah, so important that we get this photograph.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Of all these stories,
Oh.
that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
She didn't even tell you that. I'm broken inside. What am I supposed to do now? What? He just... off the cliff. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. Oh my god. That was awful.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Yeah, and then hang around it. Oh, God. Airline ticket. That one fucked me up real bad. Oh, that one hurt. That one really hurt. I know. I got a little feelings about that. Just crawling around
After
in the
Sam
attic
died,
space.
My mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
I hate this one. I absolutely hate this one. This is Gregory. Whoa.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw. It sure made him happy.
The rail's upside down.
how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. What happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Just devastating. And the bubble. The bubbles and the whale. I just can't, like.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
So pretty. Ooh.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Ooh, that's right, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Tell Dad how you feel.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power, but all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Lovely daddy-o you got.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Got caught out in a storm.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
For after her brother. Oh, not the kite still being in here. Oh my god. What is wrong with this family keeping all this shit around? Not the flag. Oh my god.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
I wouldn't want to sleep in between two memoriams for my dead brothers either. I don't blame her.
She spent a
Dawn
summer
and
building
Sanjay.
houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
It has to get bigger because you won't repurpose rooms.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Little schoolhouse.
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Milton. There's no date
After
on
Milton
there.
disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Alright, how the hell are we getting in here? Oh, window. Lovely. Oh, I like this.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
I love all of the artists in this family. It's just life-giving. Making a flip book about making a flip book. Oh, this is where you went. That's all we get for Milton?
I was four
because
when
nobody
Milton
knows.
Disappeared.
Disappeared? How? Looks like the little boy from Where the Wild Things Are with the crown, and oh, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
I'm sorry. What did Milton find in the house? Okay.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Not the fucking cannery. Ugh, I hate this. That view, though. Sorry, is this a ship up in a tree? Hookah.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
That's what it be smelling like right there. That right there. It's so funny, legalized. It's legal now, dude. You did that. You did that, dude. You got it legalized.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as
Oh, no.
Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery.
Okay. How do I let go of it? What am I doing? I won't let go of it. Oh, is it because it needs to
But
go
he
that way?
withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh god, and then you have to
I
do
asked
both?
him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Toads?
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Yeah, around heavy machinery.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Not really here.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
To be daydreaming around heavy
He told
equipment?
me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked
So
about
pretty.
starting a band.
And he lived there too.
And he was
instead of
always
this ugly
humming
canning
something.
factory.
Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Yeah, bud.
So he could do whatever he wished.
Uh-oh.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
He's the only one running!
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Uh-oh.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Cool game.
New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis,
He
very
started
original.
drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go
Minneapolis.
home from the cannery.
Just stayed there.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
It's nice.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Yeah, we like the ladies in this house. Oh, oh, oh. We're sailing astray.
The queen was on her
not
own
easy.
quest for Sinister
doing that because
serpents.
it's easier.
He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Living in this fantasy world.
That the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Want to be chopping salmon either.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Damn.
I began to forget the world we know.
These are all so sad. It's just such horribly depressing stories.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
I mean, this isn't exactly picturesque.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Oh, fuck.
Bend down his head.
Well then.
The rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Damn it, Sam.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
A giant thing of packing peanuts.
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
I see that. Thought the electricity didn't work.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
All right, here we go. It's the last one, guys. Oh, I think you can see her little bump a little. Oh God, little bump. Trauma.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Oh, God. Edie don't want him go.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Not Edie, man.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Stories don't kill people.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Oh god. Oh god, look at the buoy up there. Oh my god.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it.
About anything.
But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. can appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
I'm gonna keep secrets now?
I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
No!
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
How did I forget that Edith died? Oh my god. Oh my god, this is heartbreaking. I made it through the whole game without shedding a single tear. And here at the end, oh great, I'm making a mess of things. Oh my word. I don't know what to do with myself now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. No, legitimately, like... Hold on, give me a minute. Ouch. Don't do that. Stop, let go. No, legitimately, like, a beautiful game. Just ridiculously touching story. And I honestly have never found a game quite like it. And for me, I'm lucky because I have the memory of a fruit fly, and so I can't remember anything if, you know, I've slept. So, yeah, did I forget that Edith died? I was so curious because her arm was broken, because we see the thing in the middle, in the very beginning with the flowers, and the person's hand is like in a cast, and then like the whole time she doesn't have a cast on her hand. Like, well, I hope if nothing else that this has inspired you to maybe play this game on your own. I played it pretty well all the way through, but there might be a couple of things that I missed in there. But I need to emotionally unpack this story, so I'm gonna go. I need to reevaluate my life and all of my life decisions that brought me to this point. I'm kidding, mostly. But thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope you are not as emotionally scarred as I currently am. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. I'm never playing this game ever again. Oh, the end. I'm leaving. Good night. Goodbye. I have to stop. I need to